Welcome to begonias. Begonias are in the family of Begoniaceae. There are only two genres of them, the begonias and the Hilbrandia. The Hilbrandia is actually confined to Hawaii. It is not known how it became confined there, but it is an older flower than a begonia is. According to the American Begonia Society, there are 7 different categories of begonias and over 1,400 different types or species of begonias. Begonias are monoecious dicots, which just means that they have separate male and female flowers that are on the same plant. And they are the 6th largest angiosperm genre. The largest percent of begonias are native to the Americas. They were known to be from Africa and Asia also, though. And they do grow naturally in dense, shaded tropical climates that are close to a water source, such as a stream or a creek. Most of them do have a water storage system within them, so they are succulents. And the ideal temperatures to grow begonias in is between 60 and 70 degrees with at least 50% humidity. The growing specifications for begonias is part sun to full shade, just depends on the temperature. They love filtered light. They definitely can't be in full sun. And they need to be evenly watered and distributed. And they most definitely need well-draining soil. So the 7 categories of begonias, there are cane-like, shrub-like, tuberous, rhizomatous, semperflorens, trailing scandent, and thick-stemmed. So to start off the types, they're the cane-like begonias. They are very similar to bamboo, and they're one of the most popular and easiest to grow. The most common one is an angel wing begonia. The flowers are usually red, orange, pink, or bicolored. And they're free or ever bloomers, which means that they just bloom all season. Like I said, the angel wing is a very well-known one. This would be the one that your grandma would have had when you were growing up. They are very susceptible to mealybugs, aphids, powdery mildew, and botrytis. And they can get very tall. They can reach heights up to 12 feet, but they're usually kept much smaller and more compact. So here's just a couple pictures of begonias, cane-like begonias. On to tuberous begonias. Tuberous begonias are one of the most attractive types. They can have really frilly flowers. They can be singles, doubles, super fragrant, every size, every color possible. Most of them do bloom from late spring to early fall, depending on your region. And they are very bushy and upright, but they don't get really tall. They're only about 24 inches high. And they're just used in front borders, bedding gardens, since they are such an attractive plant. But if you do overwater them and the soil gets too moist, they are susceptible to foliar disease. And here's a couple pictures of tuberous begonias. Rhizomatous begonias are easier to grow due to the water storage in their rhizomes. Their flowers are small, pink and white clusters, and they do bloom in the spring, but some are year-round bloomers. They don't usually get very tall, but they do spread pretty wide due to their rhizomes. The most well-known is the Rex begonia, and some people categorized Rex as its own type, but I included it in this category instead. They are used for garden beddings, and they can become very invasive because of the rhizomes spreading so much across the ground. And they are also susceptible to powdery mildew. And a couple pictures of them. I liked the Twisted Sister. Shrub-like begonias are very similar to cane-like begonias, and they can reach heights up to 6 or 8 feet. They're a very low maintenance begonia once they're established. They do usually just bloom in the spring to fall and have red, white, or pink clusters of flowers throughout the shrub. It's usually used for the showy foliage. The flowers are just an added bonus to the beautiful shrub. As you can see here, that shrub is quite large, and it does have a lot of flowers, but the leaves are also very beautiful. Semperfloran begonias are also known as wax begonias or fibrous rooted begonias. They're possibly the most popular of all the begonias. If you see a common picture of a begonia, it's going to be one of these. And they're actually grown as annuals because they are so sensitive to frost that most people can only keep them alive for 1 year. They can get to about 1.5 feet tall. And again, the flowers are red, white, and pink in clusters. They bloom anywhere from spring to fall, depending on the cultivar, and are used as a bedding plant, but a lot of them are grown indoors just to keep them away from the frost, so that they are actually a perennial like they are supposed to be. And a couple pictures. The bee charm is the picture I always see of begonias, so that's why I put it on there. And the trailing or scandent begonias are like vines. They're either climbing up or down or all around. Again, the flowers are pink and white. They usually bloom in the spring, but some of them, I've seen some that are ever bloomers. They're used along trellises and hanging baskets, and occasionally they're used as a ground cover, which I thought was kind of strange, but it would work if they're creepers. And the leaves are actually quite a bit different than most of the other begonias. They're really long and glossy instead of that cute round leaf like the other ones are. This Ecuador species I thought was really cool because it actually has thorns on it, which none of the others do. And then the potpourri is cute. And the last category is the thick-stemmed begonias, and they're just that. They're thick-stemmed. The stems actually grow from the base of the plant instead of a branching action, and they can become woody. They are the least common category, very unconventional look to them, so hence why they're not the most popular. And they bloom in midwinter, and they just have small white clusters of flowers on them. And here is a picture of a woody, thick-stemmed begonia. I thought it was a really cool looking picture. Anyway, those are the 7 different categories of begonias, and that's it for me.